Hi, welcome to another episode of Fluffnpuff Pastry Baking Basics. One thing I love doing is roaming through the outdoors section of Home Depot or Lowe's. I just wish I could be just enveloped in a field of wildflowers sometimes. But luckily, today we can make our own beautiful flowers out of buttercream. Today we're going to be making 7 different kinds of flowers out of Decorator's Buttercream. That'll be a good start to creating any wildflower field dream come true. So let's get started. Now, the tools you'll be needing today will be buttercream, a few piping bags, a skewer or a special flower nail. I like to personally use the skewer, but you can use either one. A pair of scissors to lift off the flower from the skewer, something to pipe on whether it's a cupcake or some wax paper, and a variety of flower tips. For creating the rose, we're going to want to have the 104 rose tip on. And we're gonna have the smaller, narrow opening facing upwards and the bigger opening facing downwards. First, we're gonna start by having the buttercream touch the end of the skewer, and you just slowly start turning your offhand, which is holding the skewer, and then you wanna connect it with where you began. And then for the petals, you'll want to almost angle it back a little bit, throwing your wrist back, like you just don't care. And then you're gonna put the big tip touching the skewer. You're gonna draw up, over, and down. And then the more petals you add on with each section, you're just gonna angle it back a little bit more and go down just a little bit from those petals and try to intermingle them. So like wherever there's 2 petals, try going between. At this point, once you're done, you can take your pair of scissors and just gently slide it up out of the skewer, and there you have a rose to place on anything, like your cupcakes. To make calla lilies, we're actually going to pipe right on the surface of whatever you want to put it on. Here I'm going to use a wax paper, and you just want to make a rosebud, which you're going to pipe upwards and back down, upwards, back down, and then we're putting the yellow stamen with a round tip. Just draw it in the middle of the 2 petals. And then you go over that yellow stamen right in the middle with another white petal. Once you have your calla lilies done, you can start piping the stem with a green bag, and then you'll just want to draw with a round tip, pipe a little curve downwards. With calla lilies, they usually sprout from a bundle of leaves at the bottom, so we're just going to create that effect by using the leaf tip. So the tulips will actually be using the same technique as we did with the calla lilies. The only difference is that it does not have a yellow stamen in the middle, but you will just be creating that same rosebud-like shape. Now we're moving on to the hydrangeas as well as the wisteria, which we are doing with the drop flower tip. For the hydrangeas and wisteria, usually they're like a blue, lavender, purplish color. So I actually variegated the bag by putting a mixture of blue and lavender in there so that it comes out just kind of mixed in together. For this, all you're going to do is pipe it on as little drop flowers in like bundles. Make sure you touch the cupcake so that it actually sticks to it. And for the hydrangeas, for some 3D effect, I like to layer it a little bit, and that way you get kind of a round bundle. And now we're just going to add on the leaves with the leaf tip. And usually, you know, they have pretty big leaves. You just want to cover in the empty spaces with that. And kind of do them in between as well. And there you are. Now for my favorite flower, the most mythical and whimsical, the wisteria. We're going to pipe in little squigglies, and then you can start putting in the wisteria. And then draw in a few more squigglies. Just add in a few leaves and we will have made beautiful wisteria. For the dahlias, we're going to go back to using the skewer. And for this, we're just going to pipe and pull up. And all we're going to do is make several layers of that. It's more so like tapered off at the edges, so you'll apply pressure and pull up and let go. And it's almost like the rose. The further you get down, the more you can bend back your wrist and create an angle to have the flower open out. Just like the rose, once you have it done, we're going to use the scissors to slide it off the skewer and place it on your cupcake. From here, we're just going to create the leaves around the flower like so. And that's the Dahlia. For the 7th flower, we'll be making Gerbera daisies. So here we'll make elongated petals with the 104 rose tip. And then towards the center, we'll make the shorter petals all the way around the edges of a circle. We changed out the tip to a size 12 round tip to create a bulbous round ball in the center of the flower. Here you could also use the grass tip to create the pollen stamens, or just a number 4 round tip. I personally like the grass tip more as it looks more delicate on this left one here, but honestly both of them look pretty good and they look like Gerbera daisies. I would like to leave you guys with a few helpful pieces of advice on your flower making journey. Tip number 1, focus on how much you're applying pressure on the bag. Tip number 2, we want to be consistent in the shapes and angles that we're using on the flowers. In nature, flowers are very symmetrical, so we want to be symmetrical too. Big thing is practice. Practice makes perfect with everything. So we'll keep practicing and I'm sure our flowers will look better and better. Hopefully now you guys are able to make these at home in your own little wildflower garden, in Buttercream at least. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button down below and subscribe to the Fluffnpuff Pastry channel for more fun videos. I'll see you next time on another episode of Fluffnpuff Pastry Baking Basics.